Hey everyone, Jordan here with 9 to 5 Toys, and today we are checking out the Monoprice Dark Matter 27-inch 240Hz refresh rate gaming monitor. When it comes to fast-paced gaming, one of the most important factors in keeping up with the action can be a high refresh rate. And this newer display from Monoprice can be one of the smoothest if your computer can push it. Coming in at $300, it's one way to help get an upper hand against the competition. So let's dive in and check out the Monoprice 27-inch 240Hz gaming monitor. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Toys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications with the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Alright, so first off, we're going to take a look at the overall design of the Dark Matter 27-inch monitor. Despite being seated in the gaming monitor section, from the front, the Dark Matter 27 really doesn't scream gaming monitor with its design. The bezels are pretty thin with a slightly larger chin on the bottom, but overall it is pretty clean. Supporting the display is a tripod-type stand with sharp blades coming out toward the front and a larger third blade keeping things planted in the back. And overall, it feels really stable, much more so than the Dark Matter 49-inch monitor, which we took a look at last year. On the back are where things start to get a little more gamer. These little cutout red accents give it a digital design that really, serves no purpose. Personally, I prefer a cleaner design, but since the front is pretty bare, I'm not really upset with the design of the Dark Matter 27-inch display. And if you're not a fan of the stand, that can be removed, and you can use a VESA 100 by 100 mount pattern to attach it to monitor arms or whatever you have to attach it to. Behind the monitor are all of the connections. First, we have a DC plug for power, a USB port for service at the factory, then an HDMI 2.0 port, HDMI 1.4 port, and a DisplayPort 1.2. And then lastly, a 3.5mm headphone jack. And to reach those 240Hz numbers, you will have to use that DisplayPort 1.2 to connect to your PC. Changing settings on the Dark Matter is pretty simple thanks to the multi-directional button rocker, which is located behind the monitor in the bottom right corner. Pushing the button in brings up the full menu, while pushing it in a direction can bring up quick menus for things like volume, Game Plus settings, and inputs. In the menus are plenty of controls for color, brightness, and things like low blue light. There's also a setting for HDR under the gaming menu. With HDR enabled, you lose access to the color and brightness controls, but the image immediately becomes more vibrant. Monoprice is using an IPS panel on the Dark Matter 27-inch monitor. Resolution is capped at Full HD 1920 by 1080, which I would say for competitive gamers who really want to hit that 240Hz refresh rate is probably just about perfect. If you're thinking of using this as a creative or productive kind of monitor, I will say that in my experience, 1920 by 1080 is pretty limiting. I think you'll quickly find yourself wanting more resolution, so I'd maybe opt for a different display. But if your main focus is gaming and competitive gaming, and you need the fastest speed possible, or at least some of the fastest speed, then this is definitely going to be something you want to take a look at. Using testufo.com to check the refresh rate, it played back extremely smooth with minimal ghosting that I could tell. This footage was captured at 120 frames per second and then slowed down to 24 so we could get a closer look at that ghosting. Monoprice's Dark Matter 27-inch monitor also features AMD FreeSync. It's rated for HDR 400 and a peak luminance of 500 nits. That brightness is pretty commendable and keeps this monitor very visible even in, brightly lit rooms like this where I have these unblocked windows. There's always daylight coming in, but I have no trouble seeing anything on the screen. The viewing angle is also really impressive on the Dark Matter 27-inch monitor. While it loses just a bit of brightness and vibrance, the screen is still easily viewable from really extreme angles. I believe in the fact sheet they say, up to 178 degrees, both horizontally and vertically on viewing angles for this. So some really great display. You can really see it at some really crazy angles. And actually, gaming on the Dark Matter 27-inch monitor is just about the smoothest that I've ever experienced. Of course, you will need, the right hardware to drive whatever titles you're playing, to that max 240 refresh rate, but there are some games that are kind of made better to kind of optimize that. I don't play Valorant very often, but it feels like this display was made for this game. On my mid-tier rig, the game was well over 240 frames when using the NVIDIA Performance Overlay to keep an eye on my frame rate. Playing Valorant was, a really cool experience with that 240 Hz refresh rate. Everything was extremely smooth. The whole monitor seemed to perform really well. In Call of Duty Warzone on my computer, my frame rate was considerably lower, but the game still felt very smooth, and overall gaming on the Dark Matter 27-inch monitor has really been a blast. In a dark room with a black screen, you will start to see a little bit of light leaking on the side here, but for most situations, most gameplay and everything that I was doing, I didn't really notice it that often. From my experience, the colors have looked pretty vibrant. It's nothing too crazy. The HDR rating that it has, the HDR 400, is one of the lower tiers for HDR, but that is still something that sets it apart from some of the competition. I mean, there are other 240 hertz refresh rate monitors right around this price point. I think there are even some more affordable ones, but they probably don't have that same, peak brightness and that HDR 400 rating. So I do think that that's one thing that kind of sets the Monoprice Dark Matter 27-inch 240 hertz gaming monitor apart just a little bit, is that it can get a little bit brighter with that 500 nits. A lot of the competition doesn't get above 400 in that price bracket. And so if that's something you're interested in, then you definitely want to check this out. So overall, the Dark Matter 27-inch 240 hertz display is a beast for gaming. Combine that with that 500 nit brightness and HDR 400, and it looks pretty good too. Like I said, there are more affordable Full HD 240 hertz displays if all you're looking for is the most affordable refresh rate, but so far I'm really liking what Monoprice is delivering with the Dark Matter 27-inch monitor. Alright, and that'll wrap it up for our review of the Dark Matter 27-inch 240Hz gaming monitor. Let us know what you think about it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. This is Jordan with 9to5 Toys.